The problem with LAUSD right now is a top management problem. The superintendent has run into this headlong, the same way that he ran into the iPads, the same way that he's run into other things, without consultation, without respect, and without regard for the consequences, which we're clearly seeing now. Consequences that affect students. There is a top management problem in LAUSD right now. And that's why the report card here is reflecting the concerns that we've heard from schools across the city. Going forward, we've put in a demand to bargain around the MISIS crisis, as Cecily said. We are going to be pursuing overtime for our counselors who have put in hundreds of extra hours to clean up for the superintendent's mess. And for the rest of the day today, we are out working for George McKenna to make sure that he gets elected to the school board in Board District 1. And here's the reason why we need McKenna for Board District 1. We need a school board that is actually going to rein in top management and keep them from doing this kind of thing again. And George McKenna brings that kind of, number one, experience, that kind of, number two, respect for community and listening to people, and number three, not being fearful of standing up for what's right. That's what we need. We're working for George McKenna for school board. The problem is that the superintendent isn't learning from mistakes. That could have been said about the iPad debacle. Our members remember very painfully the payroll system debacle, which took months and months and months to clear up. So to just say that you can go into something and, oh, it'll work out, that's not respectful of very complicated institutions on the ground, which we call public schools. And so he may feel that way from the 24th floor of Beaudry, but everybody else is bearing the consequences, and we're not willing to keep on doing that.
What would your the district to do? Do you want them to scrap?
They need to stop it as of now and do a real process to actually engage stakeholders around what kind of student data system is appropriate and helpful. What they should have done for the beginning.
And you said that there are students that went home today because they couldn't enroll. Do you think the district will be out money as a result?
Do you want to take that?
Sure. Yes. We saw, and I saw and have reports that students did not enroll. They gave up because the lines were quite long to get enrolled, so they left school. We have numerous actually reports of students just leaving campus and parents actually not enrolling their kids because the lines were too long. And this is not an acceptable way to open up a school, especially when, quite frankly, we have programs with Jupiter grades, N grades, and other programs that schools have used throughout the district that have been quite effective. Again, this was just a mismanagement, shall we say, that's now known as, we call the misstep MISIS. Thank you.
The fact that the superintendent would say that there's not a crisis reflects a troubling and profound disconnection from schools. We've been hearing for the last week about the crisis boiling up as folks have gone back to school, as not just educators, administrators have been having issues and problems with this. Clerical workers, support staff, all of these folks have been talking about how difficult the system is to get working. Whole pieces of data that have been lost that affect the first day of school. So this is, his comment reflects a profound disconnection with what's actually going on at schools. That's why we went out to schools today.
How about the politics part of it? It is the first day of school. We could have waited till tomorrow, till the numbers came in, and and so forth. That you're using the first day of school just for political purposes because there is no contract.
We've had several first days of school without a contract. So the issue right here is that our members and families have been crying out that there's a problem here. And as long as it goes on without being addressed and with an aloof response from the superintendent, then you're darn right that we're going to put on events like this and try to call out what's actually happening in schools and what's affecting students and what's affecting our members. That's not politics, that's good sense.
How long have you been concerns about MISIS?
Actually, in one of our negotiating sessions, Mr. Caputo-Pearl and Ms. Forrester raised the issue of MISIS, and we said you should not roll it out. So it's been for quite some time. A lot of us have been communicating with local superintendents, saying there's this school. So this has been going on for quite some time. So therefore, on the first day of school, when the crisis hit for our students, it is incumbent upon us to make this public and let people know. And actually, it's been going on with the counselors for weeks because they've been coming in and trying to make it work.
You said that there were concerns before they rolled it out. What were those concerns that were expressed?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
UTLA members have been meeting with the district with all our representatives for over 6 months. And in every one of the meetings, and they've documented the concerns they've had with the system. And the district has said, we'll solve it, we'll solve it, we'll solve it, for over 6 months.
What were the concerns, though, when they prior to it rolling out?
The concerns were the stability of the data, the input, the IT system, the capacity to change over immediately. Most of the schools that have not had problems today programming their students, the counselors or staff downloaded the old system onto a hard drive and kept that and are using the old system to access students because they knew they needed to put students in places. So this is not a new problem, and it isn't a new concern that we've raised with them.